I believe this is going to be our first e4, e5 game out of all the games I've shown. I mean, personally, I'm not the biggest fan of e4, e5. So, I mean, it's kind of my list, my choosing. Oh, wait, no, it's not. We looked at the Morphe games. Those are the King's Gambits. We haven't looked at any, like, Spanish games. That's what I'm thinking about. So, we see a bishop c4, and Fischer plays it like the old school guys. Like, we were looking at the bosses who just tactically wail on you. This is in one of Fischer's clock simul's in 1964. So, I mean, he's doing this during a simul. Such a ridiculous boss. b4, Evans Gambit. Take my pawn. I'm going to get the center with play. They grab. Now let's look at a little bit of theory here. c3, tickle tickle on the bishop. The normal move here is bishop a5. And this is how much theory you have to know. Like, I'm typically not a huge fan of teaching e4, e5 to my students. I look over a lot of different variations, but because you have to memorize so much theory, because e4, e5 has been played for so long, I mean, you play a French, you got to know 5, 10 moves, and you're going to be okay. And if it's not really a blunder you lose out of the opening, with e4, e5, it can be razor sharp. So d4, you have to know not to take the second pawn. And then he's letting you take the pawn if you want. You have to stop the attack on f7. There's just tactics looming everywhere. You've got to be able to find d6. And after this trade down, this is supposed to be a roughly equal position. I mean, I like the pawn structure for black, but I mean, still.
If you lose bishop on if he takes the knight,
Well, this bishop, the reason it moved there was to protect the knight. So a follow-up plan for white could be, if this knight wasn't here, I'm going to keep adding pressure. But then black, he's going to step off of the pin, and then he's going to bring a rook to defend. White's got a little edge here for the moment with his time, but as soon as black uncoils, I think black's got equality, if not better, because of the 3 pawns versus 2 on the queen side that are connected. So in the main game, we see bishop e7, d4, and d6 was played, and this is not a good move. It's solid enough, but you just can't do this against somebody like Fischer. The main move in the database that's statistically scored better for white, or scored better for black, excuse me, than it did for white, was knight a5. You give a pawn, and I want you to see the awkwardness of white's position. It's not clear where all of his pieces are going. Black is a pawn in the hole, but he's got the bishop pair in an open position with clean, straightforward development. So black gives a pawn in order to get attacking chances. Seems like something Fischer would approve of. In the main game, we see d6, queen h5, and already I think the engine had this something around plus 1.5. Move 9. Give me that. Pins. It's sad when you got to make a move like that. Castles. Knight g4. He's just covering f7 for nonsense and getting his rook off of the pin. Well, he's able to get rid of that. If only he could castle queenside. Knight c4, making sure he's going to be stuck in the middle. No castling. You don't want to try to grab the b there. It's not going to be good for your health. He goes queen e6. Takes the b. And more forcing than what Fischer played was knight check, knight f5, and we get the same kind of idea as in the game. He played queen c7, and then knight f5. Check. Love this. Check. Check. And it looks like when the queen moves, he's going to be threatening mate, but white has the saving move after winning the material, queen g4, which covers the checking square, and black had had enough in this short, sweet, effective Evans Gambit video.